What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Dunsparces and Dragonites Week 8 match. This week we are taking on MrSuperstar and the Milwaukee Woopers. His team consists of Zygarde 50%, Volcarona, Jolteon, Frostlass, Behem, Mega Diancie, Milotic, Superior, Scrafty, Togedemaru, and Weezing. He brought a lot of things I wasn't expecting. About half of his team I wasn't really expecting. I was only expecting the Mega Diancie, Zygarde, and the Volcarona. I thought that Jolteon, Milotic, Superior, and Scrafty might show up, or at least 3 of those, and instead he brought Frostlass, Behem, and Weezing. None of which do well against my team, especially Weezing. I think Weezing is really weird. Excuse me, because Thousand Arrows goes through Levitate, I have Mega Medicham, and Scolipede can suck up the Toxic Spikes. Melodic is kind of weird to me that he didn't bring Melodic, because Melodic kind of hard walls most of my team. And Scrafty is a huge threat that I didn't prepare enough for, and so I'm like blown away to not see that. Jolteon outspeeds my entire team, so I'm kind of baffled that that didn't come. But as you'll see, it doesn't really matter because some of these things are a pain in the butt. Alright, I'm going to lead Ferrothorn. I know he's going to lead Frostlass. That's what I would lead because it's just a spike stacker. Meanwhile, I have 2 flying types, so is Spike Stack even that good against my team? Probably not. I actually have 3 flying types on the roster, so who knows? I don't know. I'm going to lead Ferrothorn against Frostlass, and I make the stupid play of trying to set up my Stealth Rocks here. I thought it was worthwhile for me to get my rocks up for Volcarona, but instead he actually just gets up 2 layers of spikes there as I gyro ball him down to his sash. Very obvious that he was going to be sashed. I'm kind of thankful that I didn't get curse bodied. Not that it matters too much, but I need Ferrothorn around to take on the Mega Diancie super well, unless he's got HP Fire, but he needs some chip on me for HP Fire to kill. I can also take on the Zygarde really well. So I'm trying to keep Ferrothorn around. I take on Weezing super well too. I can at least get rid of some items with knockoff and toxics and stuff later. So I'm going to switch because I know he's going to go for the Destiny Bond here. I think. Yeah, there's no reason for him not to go for the Destiny Bond this turn. So I'm going to switch into Togekiss as he Destiny Bonds. And now I'm Scarf Togekiss, so I'm going to defog these away. As he's going to kill me. So I couldn't kill the Frostlass there with Togekiss because then Togekiss goes down to Destiny Bond, so I had to defog and take the Ice Beam, which does quite a bit of damage. Now I'm going to double into Medicham on his other Destiny Bond. I have to double into something else now, so I'm going to double into Scolipede so that I don't die to that. Ice Beam comes off, and now here's the problem. I didn't speed creep Frostlass, I speed crept the Volcarona, thinking that Frostlass wasn't going to be a problem. I should have sped crept the Frostlass because he's faster than me. Gets the Destiny Bond off, and my Scolipede dies for no apparent reason. Taking down the Frostlass. Now at least Scolipede got a kill finally, but again my plans always seem to fail. I went into Swellow here thinking that he had literally nothing for my Swellow, but apparently Volcarona is naturally bulky enough to tank a Specs Boom Burst, so that's fun. So I'm actually going to U-turn on out of there. That does about what I thought it was going to do, and I go into Zydog. I didn't expect the Fire, I didn't expect Inferno Overdrive. I was kind of expecting like a Quiver Dance, to be honest. And I thought I would just go for an Outrage because we are Scarfed, so I will outspeed him even at +1. That was the plan with Scolipede, was to get Scolipede in for free to revenge kill it. But alas, that's not what's going to happen. Yeah, so I'm going to click Outrage here because it's my best thing to hit this thing with. It actually doesn't kill, but at least it'll take it low enough for Medicham's Bullet Punch to pick it off afterwards. So I'm going to click Outrage as he doubles into Zygarde, which was just, I'm not sure what that was, but yeah. Yeah, I literally didn't have a switch into the Volcarona, but this was my play in case he Quiver Danced on me. So that's what I did. And now I'm locked into Outrage. He can go into Diancie if he wants. He's actually just going to pick me off here with an Extreme Speed. Pretty good play on his part. Zygarde was good to take on the Volcarona later as well. This turn I make another really stupid play, and I don't just go for the kill, and instead I go for the Stealth Rocks, which actually ends up paying off later, I think, but he just switches in Volcarona on the obvious Stealth Rock play, gets a Quiver Dance off. Luckily for me, that Quiver Dance means the Gyro Ball is a 2-hit KO here, because he's got the speed boost. Even though it's a resisted hit, it is now a 150 base power move because of how fast he is. You can see it right there on the screen. Yeah. Now, I have to go off of his choke and hope to God that I can live... I can't live with Fire Blast because I'm leftovers. If I was Akaberry, I could live this Fire Blast, but I'm not. I'm leftovers. So I have to hope that he's not going to have Flamethrower and have Fire Blast instead. And he does, and he misses, which is really clutch for me because that basically seals the game. Now that Volcarona's dead. He can't bring anything in on this Ferrothorn anymore. Ferrothorn just racking up another kill for it this season. I think it's my kill leader on the team. No, Mega Medicham might still be ahead of it, but Ferrothorn's like second in kills on the team or something at this point. He can't go into anything here, so he actually chooses to go into Zygarde, which is going to die to my knockoff. I don't care what kind of Zygarde you are. I eat this hit for days. Get some leftovers recovery back. Brings me the ante, and I die to an HP Fire here if he's teching it, and we'll see that he's not, and Moonblast is his best way to hit me, so this thing dies to a Gyro Ball, and Ferrothorn putting in so much work right now. Now, Behem is going to come out here. Both of his Pokemon are super slow, so Gyro Ball is obviously not the most ideal thing to hit this with. Knockoff is my play, but the standard set on the Showdown Calculator showed Cobra Berry, and I was like, what is that? So I decided to go for the Toxic instead, wear this thing down a little bit. Dark Pulse doesn't do anything to me, and I resisted its Psychic Stab. Now, I'm actually going to play to preserve the differential, because differential does matter in terms of playoff seeding and stuff like that, and I'm in a really good position to potentially claim first in my conference later on, if not just first in my division, reasonably soon, even. So I'm going to preserve my Ferrothorn here, and I'm going to go to my Togekiss, because that's my best thing to tank this Dark Pulse with. As he does choose to go for the Dark Pulse again, that does show to be especially offensive, but not choice specs, is kind of what I'm gathering there. I'm going to go for the Air Slash here and try and flinch him to death because I'm a dick, and that's what Togekiss is meant to do. Another Air Slash will kill this. He actually just goes into Wheezing instead of killing it, sacking it for some reason. Did nothing. Yeah, I'm going to flinch the Wheezing once, and it's over for Wheezing. As long as I don't miss an Air Slash here, Wheezing dies. And then Behem on entry taking Stealth Rocks, and this will die to an Air Slash too. Not that it mattered because Toxic would have killed it. So we end up picking the 4-0 win over MrSuperstar and the Milwaukee Woopers. Very poorly played on my end. I think reasonably poorly played on his end. Although if he hits that Fire Blast, then he likely just wins the game with Volcarona. I hate Volcarona with a passion. I absolutely despise playing against that thing. Yeah, so that's that. Not much more to say about the game. Ferrothorn picked up another 3 kills, so that thing's a monster, just demolishing this entire league right now. We are now 7-1. Hang on, let me check. I have the differential written down somewhere. We're 7-1. 7-1 plus 17 right now. So we're in a really good spot to clinch the division soon, I think. I can actually just bring that up real quick. Just bear with me for a second here. Because we're definitely at the top of our division. The conference is a little bit challenging because Shiny Krabby's in our conference, and he is keeping pace with me. Shiny Krabby is also 7-1, I believe, but he has a much higher differential than I do. We have a 3-game lead. Depending on his game, we have a potentially a 4-game lead in our division right now, which would guarantee us first in the division if we win next week, potentially. So next week is really important. It's actually against a division opponent too. We play Devon in a rematch next week. If you'll remember, we had a very, very, very close game against Devon. It came down to Medicham hitting a high jump kick. We missed the first one, and then we hit the second one and actually managed to pull out that win. But I believe it was our closest game of the season. I'm looking forward to playing against Devon again. I think he's a fun opponent to play against. He plays really fast, and he's got a very offensive style, which I like. Yeah, so check that out, and that'll be next week. So yeah, I'll catch you guys for week 9, where we take on the Detroit Decidueyes and Devon in our rematch.